So this was supposed to be purple. In the last couple of videos or so, it's been that light, I want to say aqua. It's called Sea and Sky. It is from Lunar Tides. But it looked like it was starting to fade a little quicker than most other colors, and I suspect that's because it was like a neon blue. And since my hair is not completely silver and I don't bleach, neons don't work that well. So I decided, you know what? I've been blue for a long time. I want to be purple. So I put orchid over it. That's the color I got. I'm not mad at it. And it really goes with our look today, too. So hello and welcome to domytriesthis. I hope you brought your cuppa. Today's coffee mug is my holiday cats coffee mug. We've got kitties with reindeer antlers and sweaters and wreaths, and there's packages, and there's a guy with a Santa hat and all the things. And in the top it says Maui Christmas. So that is our cup. It's one of the coffee mugs my daughter got for me. One of the almost all of the coffee mugs that my daughter got for me. And in that coffee mug is the Republic of Tea Cinnamon Vanilla from this little kit that I'm trying. We've already tasted the peppermint bark, and we already know I really like that. And then we also got Comfort and Joy, but it's a black tea, so I'm holding off on that. We all know how I feel about most black teas, so this is going to be interesting. And then this one is the cinnamon vanilla, and it has where are your ingredients? You don't list your ingredients on here? I know I found the ingredients on... Well, they put it on the other two, but not on this one. This one just says, oh, caffeine-free rooibos and natural flavors. That's it. Okay. We'll go ahead and give her a sip. Natural, you can't just put in cinnamon. Anyway. It has actually been steeping for a little bit because my husband came home right when I was getting ready to set this all up. So it had to sit there while he got ready to do his thing. It is now ready for me to go ahead and take a sip. It smells amazing. It's kind of, I've got 2 tea bags in here. It's a little light. It's not a horrible tea, but it's a little delicate on the flavor. Alrighty, so today we are trying out the new Nomad Polar Express palette. It has been besmirched a bit. It's not horrible. I tried not to mess too many things up. She's beautiful. I opened this on our last It's New, so you know in the cover it has a cutout, and it has the on the way to through the forest, and then here when you take it out of the cover, it's in the city, in the town. So along with this, I was one of the early purchasers, because you all know I support Nomad. I love my Nomad. And so for these particular palettes, they have a golden ticket to ride on the Polar Express, which I think is cute. And then, of course, on the back, we have all of the usuals. It's that time of year, hot cocoa with friends, warm memories made with family, and the magical wonder of Santa. We hope you and your loved ones enjoy a merry and bright holiday season. Thank you for your support in 2024, and Happy New Year 2025. Felicia and Auntie, Nomad co-founders. The new Polar Express palette destination. Sleigh bells ringing and trains choo-chooing. Come aboard the Polar Express to celebrate the excitement and enchantment of the most magical time of the year. Join us on this wintry journey through snowy, moonlit landscapes past twinkling holiday lights while enjoying delicious hot cocoa. Feel again the childlike whimsy and wonder as we get ready for Santa, all aboard to the North Pole. The palette is A Journey to Santa, Wintry Blues and Snowy Whites, Holiday Crimsons and Warm Chocolates, and Decorative Silvers and Golds, inspired by the classic, The Polar Express. 8 Merry Mattes, 6 Glowing Shimmers, and 1 Festive Multichrome. I did mention on the It's New, and I still think that something in here could have been pulled for a deep foresty green, just one. But that is the only complaint I had then, and we're going to talk more about how I feel about it overall towards the end here. The cause: we are so proud to support the WWF Global Arctic programs to help maintain this biodiverse and resilient region. Global Arctic. I'm thinking that's Worldwide Fund, possibly, WWF. But anyway, so there's that. And let's go ahead and do some swatches. One of the things that they noted on the announcement for that is that this is not organized by rows, but by columns. So like this, I was thinking about doing the swatches that way, but I think we're just going to go ahead and do by rows, even though that sort of interrupts the columns that they have. But we're going to go ahead and get started. It's just a little easier, I think. Well, I can do columns. We'll do columns. We'll do columns. So we have All Aboard, Snowy Mountain, Silver Bell, and North Pole, which North Pole starts the newest column. So that's the first column and the first shade from the second column. And then we're going to get 2 and 2. Desert of Ice, Frozen Sea, Mr. Sea, Polar Express. That's a beautiful color. That came out a lot lighter on my eyes than it does there. And this one is our multichrome. Let me see if I can pick up a little bit more of that. There we go. Getting a good swatch with my pinky finger is kind of hard, but you can see that blue to purple. I think there's this green in there kind of shift. Then we have First Gift, Nougat Candy, Hot Cocoa, and Dark Forest, which I think should have been green, but anyway. So I've got 2 shades that just don't quite show up. But I think it's mostly a skin tone problem. Usually is. Then we have Christmas Carol, Santa's Helpers, and Believe. Christmas Carol, Santa's Helpers, and Believe. Some of them did not swatch well. But I've had issues with stuff not swatching well and working out beautifully. So, and as you see, that shouldn't be much of a problem. This is a damp cloth, and that stuff is sticking. I think I did swatch this when I opened it. And that is just, they don't want to come off. They don't want to come off. There, I think I got them. Oh, we still got some. They are like right there. All right, so what I'm going to do, there's 2 of these I want to re-swatch very quickly. So we're going to do Mr. C and First Gift. There's Mr. C. And there's First Gift. I guess they're different enough. I think of all the colors, now that I'm looking at it, I've suggested that a blue could be taken out or one of the matte browns. But now that I'm looking at it, I honestly think this color could probably go. It's a shimmery brown, and it's kind of a pretty color, but I don't know. Yeah, I think that one could have gone and been replaced with a green. We have 3 other browns in here. You could have turned one of those into a shimmer if you wanted to, you know. But anyway, that is my only complaint, is that there isn't a really at this point, there isn't a really deep dark green. Anyway, so here's the look. Let me get this down. Like that. If you're interested in this palette, if you're interested in how I made this look, if you're interested in my final opinion, just keep on watching. Okay, so one last look before she's besmirched. She is very pretty. Very, very pretty. I do think I mentioned that on the Last It's New, which is where I opened this. I think I swatched it. Did I swatch it? Can't remember. Possibly swatched it. But at any rate, I do think I mentioned that the one disappointment I had is that there is no green. I thought I initially said you could take out this blue, but I also think you could probably take out this particular red. Either one of those could have been gone, and you could put in a nice, really deep, foresty green in there. However, I am going to be bringing in the green with an eyeliner. So this is the Catrice Calligraph Artist matte liner. I don't think these are available anymore, unfortunately, which is sad because I really like this liner. Anyway, I have a plan. We're going to get started on the plan. Yay! So far the plan is to do North Pole with a little bit of this All Aboard over it. My inner corner will be this silver bell. Across the lid we're going to do Believe with the Santa's helpers on the outside. Then I'm going to take this multi-chrome Polar Express, put that up here for the point, and then use this really dark blue Frozen Sea for our shadings. So let's go ahead and dig in and get started. I'm excited about this so much. Grabbing my first fluffy brush, getting into this North Pole. She comes right up. Not surprised, honestly, not surprised. Beautiful light color. So we started at the bottom near our crease, moved it up to help fade it out more up by the brow. She's right there. She's so pretty. All right, so we're going to use another fluffy brush to grab some of that olive board, and we're going to start that right under the brow and move down. We don't really need a lot. We just want a bit of a sheen. This olive board is a kind of a silvery white. It's not a full-on silver. Hopefully, YouTube won't get mad at my Christmas music in the background. I like that. That's pretty. That's very pretty. All right, moving right along, grabbing some of our glitter primer from Moira. This is going to go 2/3 of the way across. So, in, because we have 2 colors that have to go over it. So I've noted in the past that most of Nomad shimmers do come up on a brush and work well on a brush. I like to start with the sponge tip anyway, because that gives me a much nicer sheen. I don't want to ruin the jingle bell. It's a cute little, it's cute. But we'll get some of this jingle bell silver. I'm working around the bell, you guys. I don't want to ruin the bell. And we're going to put that on the inner corner. About a third of the way over. So I'm going to go ahead and use the brush now and get some more of that on there and try to get up in the crevices of my eyes, because, you know, your girl's getting old. So she's got lines on the eyes now too. So we're going to grab a little bit of that. I'm going to go ahead and use this and grab some more of this. So like I said, it does come up on the brush. I've got that all in there. Making sure this corner is pretty covered because, like I said, lots of cracks and crevices. And, yeah, lots of cracks and crevices. Old lady. Okay, so back to our sponge tip, going on the other end, getting that wet. Grabbing some of this Believe. They put trains all over this. Which makes sense. Polar Express, right? All right, that's going to go across the lid. Oh, God, look at that. You can see I'm putting some of it over the edge of our silver to blend those shades in a bit. And then going across. So this is not as bright a red as I would normally really like for the center of my lid. I would usually like a really bright color, but it definitely fits the theme of the Polar Express, which didn't have a lot of bright colors in it, as I recall. I mean, they had the lights and all of that. Okay, so now I'm going to take the other side that I had the silver on. I'm going to grab a little of this silver dry and go over that red edge just a bit. Again, trying to blend those colors in such a way that there's less of a line and they sort of merge into one another. Sort of kind of tough when you have two very disparate colors. But anyway, as I was saying, there weren't a lot of bright colors actually in the movie, so the palette actually really suits that. All right, grabbing some of this Santa's helper, which is not really it's sort of a, it's red, but it's a darker brownish red. And so it's not going to come up like a true red, which is fine. We're going to put that on our outer corner. Look at that. Look at how nice that came up. Blend that a bit with our red on there. Oh, wow. I didn't even have to fight that. That just came right up. It looks really true to the pan. Again, I'm going to grab our sponge tip and bring some of this over to go over that. I'm very happy with that. It is very hard for a Nomad palette to make me unhappy. There's been a few in the past that have, but so far this is doing beautifully. All right, now we're going to grab that Polar Express. Oh, baby, I hope you come up and do what I want you to do. Now, this is supposed to be multi-chrome. They don't really multi-chrome on me. They chrome, they don't multi, but we're going to go with it. We're trying it with the dry brush. We're going to put that all up in here. Well, that went up nicely. Now, I don't know what you guys are seeing. You guys are probably seeing closer to a blue. I'm getting a purpley cast myself. That went on really nice. I told you guys, these guys, they make their shimmers and stuff work really well with brushes. I'm very pleased with that. As you can see, we've got some fallout from that red. Fallout doesn't bother me. I know it bothers some people, but that's why I do mine at the beginning. It's a very... It's not that big of a difference. Interesting. I chose 3 colors that all can pretty much blend into each other and look very similar. All right, so now we're going to grab that Frozen Sea. And go in our crease and do some making things distinct. Yeah? And I'm going about halfway into my lid here. And all the way across, right? The way I usually do. We're going to... This is not coming up near... There it is. I was going to say, it's not coming up nearly as dark as I expected it. It's over those other shades, though, and underneath. So my husband called and has interrupted, but I don't know what I was going to say. I think it was something about how this color, Frozen Sea, wasn't nearly as dark as I expected it to be. But it's over other shades, so that's probably part of it. Although underneath, it's not coming up. It's not coming up nearly as dark as I thought it would. I mean, it's not bad. It is still dark. It is still giving me that needed contrast. I'm just, it's coming up a bit lighter than I expected. Okay. Okay, so most of that's going to get covered up with eyeliner. I'm going to take that up a little bit higher. Gonna bring this up a little bit higher. Kind of want to see that line up there. Just a little bit. To help define the lid. So you see that dark blue line? That helps define where my lid is. And I have to go up a little bit higher because my lids are hooded So that is the only way to deal with the hooded lids. Let's see. I'm going to do a very quick blend up top. Trying to make sure that things are blended in. Now we have airplanes. It is just busy today. All right, so I'm not mad at that. Not mad at that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and finish my face and get back out, and we'll talk about the palette. Although I'm pretty sure that if you've been around here long enough, you know. You know. Okay, so yeah, like I said, I'm going to finish up my face, going to do all the proper filming that I normally do, and then we'll be right back. It'll be just like that to you. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So this is our final look. I'm not mad at it. I think it's pretty. I think it's really pretty. And I did not intend to match my hair, but I apparently did. To match the hair just a little bit with all those blues. Anyway, for underneath my eyes, I use the olive board on the inner third. I use the Polar Express across, and then I put some of this gold on the back side, but you can't really see it very well there. That gold is something better that would be better for the inner corner. Overall, this performed the way most Nomad palettes perform, very, very well. And I think the only issue I have is the green, not having a green. And I did use green eyeliner, but honestly, I would have preferred to have a green in the palette. I have plenty of greens that I can pull from if I want to do that in the future. For me, there might be some limitations on how I can use this particular palette, but we'll see. There's beautiful blues and silvers and reds, and I like those colors. So I'm not a big fan of browns. We all know that. But the other thing is I did use a mixture of the dark forest and the hot cocoa to do my contouring. So, you know, I have uses for some of the browns. I don't need that many browns, folks. The only other thing that I was going to say that I've noted that is an issue, I did notice that I did have to repair a couple of times. And while that is not unusual for most palettes, including Nomad, I think I had to repair a couple times more than usual. So this particular formula, for some reason, or this palette, they didn't note that this was a new formula, so I shouldn't be having the problems with it. Maybe it's the colors I chose, but they didn't stay the way Nomad usually does for me. That is probably not going to be as big an issue for other people who do not have the same eye issues that I do. So otherwise, it is a beautiful palette. Will it be a favorite? Probably not. It is, I think, appropriate for Christmas. I do think the palette generally fits the theme. I just would have liked to see that dark green. And but beyond that, it's a beautiful palette. I love the silvers and whites in here. These on this line, they're beautiful. They're beautiful. I think we've seen these blues in others of their palettes. I think there is a lighter version of this one in their they have another palette that has the blues and has some oranges and some, oh god, I can't remember the name of it, and I haven't used it in a while. So it's up. It's been put away. But I think we've seen a similar shade to this blue and possibly to this blue in their in their palettes. I am glad that they only put in one multi-chrome. They could have put in one or two more duochromes if they wanted, but I'm glad that they really decided to just make that a interesting focal point rather than having the duos and multis take over. They had a lot of nice, the shimmers in here worked really beautifully, so that is really nice too. Anyway, you'll have to let me know down below if you are interested in picking up this particular palette. I would love to know if it's in your plans. It is supposed to be there for at least a year. It is not limited edition, so you have time. You have time. Which is always nice because most of their Christmas palettes in the past, the 2 Christmas palettes they did in the past were both limited edition, I believe. So it's really nice when a company keeps a palette like this around for a little bit. Anyway, so that is it for the day, and I hope you liked what you've seen. And like I said, let me know if you're planning on picking up this palette or if you're interested in picking up this palette. I would really love to hear it. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get another sip of our tea and get on out of here. I actually have to cook dinner tonight. I shouldn't say have to. I offered. We're going to have some minestrone. My son loves minestrone. Let me clarify. My son loves the cornbread we make to go with the minestrone. So he loves it when we make minestrone because that means cornbread. So I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, give this a sip and go ahead and get our dinner started. And then I have one more film to do. So anyway, let's give it a sip. Yeah, I was really excited about the peppermint bark. I was right about it. I do want to repurchase it. I don't think I want the cinnamon vanilla. There is not, they could have put real cinnamon in here. Put, chunks of cinnamon in their little baggies. They didn't do that. It's flavoring. I'm mostly getting the vanilla, not a lot of cinnamon. So not a favorite tea. I'll probably give that to my son. He would like that, I think. He's been telling me he needs more hot tea, so we can give him this one. And probably, more than likely, what will happen after I taste this one is he'll get that one too. And I will just keep the peppermint bark. Alrighty. As you all know, I love my girls. I love my dragonettes. I hope you have a good one.